Ooh, this is very scary and haunting and spooky. Good morning, everybody. It's Stephen here for Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter, and welcome to my weekly vlog number 336 for Monday, October the 30th. Tomorrow is Halloween. Bah, humbug. But anyways, let's look at something that gives me more joy. And that's my kitties. Well, they give me kind of a mixed hate kind of thing. There are now 20 kitties done. I have 3 more to make, and then I can start laying things out and making the rest of the pieces for this quilt. Yes, there are more pieces for this quilt. It goes on forever. Now, mind you, the other pieces are just basically sashing pieces. So, once I get those cut, I haven't got them cut yet, and then I can start assembling it, and then things should go along quite nice. And then, finish it up with the borders and get it onto Lucy and bind it. It'll be done. It'll be done. This is the 4S Collab Challenge. And tomorrow I'm going to talk maybe a little bit more about this and also remind you about some of the events coming up with the 4S Club Challenge as well. So that's that. And let us flip over here to these little cute things. Excuse me, frog in the throat. Always have one in my throat this time of the day. Yeah. So this is the start of little gift bags that I'm making for the ladies at Ultimate Sewing. There's going to be a Rudolph mug rug, and I've showed you the mug rugs before. They have a pocket in the back, and I'm going to stuff it with some sewing notions, I think, like my gnome seam rippers. I found some really cute note cards. I bought them on the internet and from an Etsy store, and I printed them out. They're all about quilting and things like that, just funny little sayings and that, and they're very colorful. And I'm going to also put some, goodies in this bag, maybe some chocolate, stuff like that. I might add, if I get ambitious, maybe later today, I'll play around again with some of my homemade ribbon. I've got some more ideas for that I want to try out, and I mentioned that on the Sew Chatty this past week. So if you haven't seen that, there's a link to Sew Chatty's last episode in the show notes below. And I don't know. I'm building this as the next month goes on. And I got these little see-through vinyl bags, which I think are kind of cute, and are from Amazon, and I think I got a package of 10 for $17 Canadian, so I didn't think that was too bad. They even have a little snap at the top, although my little mug rugs are slightly bigger than the bag for snapping it down, but that's okay. I'm not really worried about that. And I'll probably, decorate the bag up a little bit more. I've got some of my freestanding gnomes that I want to hang on each bag as well. So, it's just going to be a cute little thank you gift for what those ladies do for me and Walter, or Walter and I, throughout the year, because it's a great store. That's Ultimate Sewing. If you haven't heard of it, check them out online. Just Ultimate Sewing, and you'll find it. Do a Google search. Okay, so that I've been working on. And that's all I've been working on. Well, not quite. I did manage to get quilted 2 tops that have been sitting out by Lucy for several weeks, and I'll talk more about those on Idiot Quilter, however. Okay, that moves us to, what does that move us to? Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, before I forget, you noticed in a little teaser, I was showing you a couple of things, my little Halloween display, and I did show that on another episode of the vlog when I first decorated up for Halloween and fall. It's going to be kind of a shame to put those things away, on Wednesday, the day after Halloween. If things will look bare, it's just like Christmas decorations. After you take them all down, the house looks bare. But I do have a couple of freestanding lace pumpkins that I may leave out before I get into my Christmas decorating in another month's time. I'll leave those out maybe, and maybe a couple of other little things there that are kind of more fallish than Halloweenish. just to, carry the decor over just a little bit longer. Because, you put all this work into some of these things, because I make all these pieces, right? And then they're only out for a day or two. Well, that seems pointless. So, yeah, just what the heck? It's Halloween month or November. What is November? Well, I know for you Americans it's Thanksgiving. That at the end of the month, Remembrance Day. Oh, that actually maybe when I take down the Halloween quilts, maybe I should put out some of my. I have a couple of sort of Canadian kind of quilt of valor stylish quilts. Maybe I should put those out on display. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think I will do that. Okay, so I'm rambling now. Let's move on to YouTube channel of the week. Now, we have expressions that we sometimes use. They're almost like a secret code. You say something. Well, one of my favorites is, well, ain't that nice? Which is kind of code for, yeah, gag me with a spoon. That's gross. Someone's showing you something, going on and on about it. Those kind of people. Yeah, those kind of people. And you can't think of anything really good to say about it, so I might just say, well, ain't that nice? Well, there's another, and that's kind of a southern expression, I gather, but there's another southern expression called, they say, well, bless your heart, or bless their heart. And yeah, it's one of those expressions that could be a compliment or could be a sarcastic comment. So anyways, I came across this video that kind of explains that particular expression, but it can be applied to, other expressions that we have that when we, secretly don't like something and we don't want to insult somebody to their face, but we just can't resist being a little cutting. Naughty people. Yeah, so this little video is it's funny. You'll like it. This week's YouTube clip deals with an expression that you may have heard, especially if you're Southern, in the Southern United States, and they have a lot of very interesting expressions that mean something totally different than what they sound like. And one of those expressions is, bless your heart. And I thought this little video clip was really, really funny, and also got across the point that if for some reason you're in conversation with somebody, especially from the Southern United States, and they say, well, bless your heart, it really means something differently. And this video explains it for you. So check it out. Okay, so in the resource section, in the show notes, you'll find my contact information. You will find the link to Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen this coming Wednesday, and links to my friends' channels. And there is a link to that video, of course, that I only talked about, but you can watch the whole video. It only takes about 2 minutes, and there's a link to that below. There's a link to all my past videos, or this past week's videos as well. Just to highlight what we talked about on So Chatty this past week, because we got a lot of comments about it, is basically we talked about Christmas gifts and who do you give them to, when do you start making them, and we're talking about homemade Christmas gifts. I don't like that word homemade. I really don't. Homemade suggests cheap. It is not. Homemade is not cheap. Why do we say artisan-made gifts? I think that's better. But anyways, we talked about that. We talked about whether or not it's appropriate to give a quilter a quilt. I got a lot of comments about that were really good. And I had some ideas of my own what you could make relatively quickly from whatever you've got in your stash as well. So you might want to check that out if you haven't already. Okay, so let's check out the weather here. Things have been getting a little cooler. In the last couple of weeks, the weather's been up and down, but I think it may be starting to settle in if I find it here. And well, here's the forecast for today. And yes, I am still wearing, at the end of October, short sleeve shirts because I love the shirts that Walter makes for me, and I really don't want to make the transition into long sleeves, because if I do that, I have acknowledged that it's getting cold again. It's bad enough I have to wear pants and socks. Well, I wear pants all the time, but I mean long pants. You know what I meant. But anyways, here's what the current temperature is. It's 2 degrees C. Okay, so that's about 34, 35 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're just above freezing. And our high today is only going to be about 7 degrees C. So yeah, it's coolish. Now they're saying today we got an 80% chance of rain. Looking out my window right now, it's still dark. It's about 10 after 7, and that's why. And the rest of the week looks like a bit cloudy. And then they're saying on Sunday it looks like a little rain there possibility, and into next week. So yeah, we're definitely moving into the dreary month of November. I hate November and I hate February. November is so dull, so gray. By the time you get past the first week or so of November, what's left of leaves on trees are gone. So everything's looking creepy. It's cold-ish out, at least in my area. And it's just gray and dreary. But it is the prelude to the December, which is much more lively because, with Christmas coming. But then by the time we get back around to about February, we're in that same kind of look again. So yeah, but you can't do anything about the weather, can you? It's just the way it is. So, that takes me to what's pissed me off this week. All right. Because we have the internet, because everybody's on the internet, because we can't live without the internet and everything that's associated with the internet, we, of course, expose ourselves to vulnerabilities, people who want to hack into our systems, people who want to scam us electronically, all kinds of cyber crime out there that we fall victims to. So what do? We protect ourselves, or we should be protecting ourselves. We get antivirus programs for our computer. We get things that check websites for phishing, and I don't mean the kind where you pick little slimy creatures out of the water, phishing like they're trying to get your information, all that kind of stuff. It's a necessity to have a virus checker minimum on our computer systems. But there are other levels, and I'm sure with whoever you deal with when it comes to virus protection, you are protecting yourself, are you not? Because it's a very foolish thing not to. But, you may spend a fair chunk of money for a good service that's supposed to protect us from the evils of the cyber world. I do. AVG is the name of the company that I deal with. Now, I have dealt with them for quite a long time. Previous to AVG, many moons ago, I used to do Norton. Norton used to be good. Norton is nothing now. It is horrible. It is basically, in my opinion, it's a scam. However, I'm starting to think that maybe AVG is one as well. I pay probably about $100 or more a year for protection from them, and they have a wide line of protection services. Well, I got an email from them, and I did verify that it was really from them. It wasn't a scammer, and it was, stating that they had been compromised, or their data had been compromised, or what they were trying to tell you is that your data, the information they had on me, had been compromised by something called Move It vulnerability. And they were so sorry about this. They said, well, there wasn't much that got taken, just your name, your personal information, but no financial information. Well, as far as I'm concerned, even though they may not have gotten financial information, they got enough information, stuff that I don't want some third party knowing about me. So this started to disturb me quite a bit. The other thing was they said, but, they're working on it. They have, there is no more threat. They've got that worked out. And to compensate us for the inconvenience, we were going to get 6 months free of some breach guard or something that was supposed to protect us further. Well, 6 months free. They haven't sent me yet. They said they're going to send out, but I haven't seen it yet, information on setting that up to get your 6 months free. Well, I did some further research. It's their product. It is not a third-party company. They didn't say that. It's their product. So I'm thinking there wasn't really a breach. They're using that as a ploy to sell their own product. So I wrote to them and I voiced my concerns. I said that, one, this is not enough compensation. 6 months of this stupid thing, which is their own. And then what happens? I automatically am enrolled in it and they're going to charge my credit card. Well, first of all, I'm not going to enroll in it. So, yeah. But I also thought, I said, that's not enough. And what's ironic is you're a protection company, a virus protection company, and you got compromised. What does that say about the quality of your service? So I wrote this. I did get an answer back. Okay. The guy who wrote back to me is, I think, in India. I had heard rumors that this company had been sold off to an Indian company. I'm sorry, but where did the most scams come from? India. Guy's name was every letter in the alphabet and a couple of other ones I didn't know existed. I'm sorry if that sounds racist, but that's the fact. That's what it is. And he wrote back to me, and he spent 2 paragraphs saying the same thing that they already said in their first email. He didn't answer my issues, didn't answer my questions, nothing. I said, well, I suggested that maybe if they were really serious about protecting us and showing that they were, that they should compensate us by giving us maybe 3 to 6 months extended time on our present subscriptions, or offer us maybe a 20-25% discount on renewal of our subscription, that kind of thing. I have yet to hear back from him. And I doubt that I'm going to hear back from him. And if I do hear back from him, I'm going to get the same canned answer. I find this very discouraging. So I said to Walter, I think we need to do some research and see if we can find another company. Because, quite frankly, I think AVG is full of shit. And I think this was a ploy. I don't think our data was breached at their end. I think this is a ploy to get us to buy a service. Same kind of scammer thing that you get, oh, your computer's been compromised, we can help you out, or, you've won $1 billion, we just need your banking information, all that kind of stuff. I'm putting it right up there. I believe this is a scam. But a dangerous scam, because it's not just a scam that's coming from outside. This is a scam from coming with inside. This company itself that I have been dealing with for many years. I am, to say the least, very disappointed. I even told the guy that I would be discussing this on YouTube. So here's my advice to you. If you're out there looking for another company for cyber protection, I think you should look beyond AVG. That's AVG. If they send me a more comprehensive email that is more believable, that does actually something concretely, I will let you know. But in the meantime, I would be very careful about dealing with AVG. And if you already have dealt with AVG, then you probably got the same email. So, buyer beware, I guess. You can't even trust the companies that we're supposed to trust to keep us, safe. It's getting bad. It really is. This whole 21st century cyberspace, internet, Google, blah, 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 is, well, it's making victims of us all. That's all I can say. Okay. So let's take a look at new products. Did I buy anything? Well, of course I did. Now I have bought, trying to get this to go away and get what I want to come up. And here we go. Okay. So, on Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen every week, there's a lot of enablers on it there. Well, I tend to be one as well. But people show things or talk about things and they sound like good products, so I investigate them, and sometimes more than sometimes, I end up buying something. Well, you know how I love going to the dentist. I've mentioned it before. I hate it. I have a cleaning coming up at the 1st of December. I hate it. They go in there. They're looking for treasure. They dig down right through your gums to your toes, all the kind. And, speaking of scams, 3 times a year, 4 times a year that they want you to come in to have your teeth cleaned, I don't know about that. I really don't. But I'm a regular flosser. I mean, I floss. I floss at least 3 times a day. At least. And I get right in there with it. But apparently, that's not enough, according to the dental hygienist. So, one of my friends on Sewing with Stephanie and Stephen, she swears by a water pick. Now, I know what water picks are. They've been around for 100 years. And I've often played with the idea of purchasing one. Don't mind me for a minute. I'm trying to get product details here because I want to show you what it is. Here we go. So I decided to invest in one. And I got a real water pick, the brand name, and I got it for a really good price because I bought it from Costco. And I had it delivered. Now, Costco, I did look at them on Amazon, and they were about 20 bucks more than at Costco. And the one on Amazon was just this part of the unit. This is the main water pick unit with the reservoir and the whole bit. But the Costco one was bundled with a portable one as well. So I purchased this one. I think it was $95, free delivery. Got it within about 3 days, and I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. And this friend told me, you'll be surprised at the gunk that comes out of your mouth. Kind of gross. And she was right. And like I said, I floss 3 times a day. So this is going to replace the string flossing. And I'm hoping that it will, improve things for me. We shall see. But anyways, there is junk that comes out. It gets right in there. It's a little loud when you're using it. I'm putting a pad underneath it now, which to deaden the sound a little bit. I mean, it's not that bad. But, well, Walter says it sounds like a jackhammer going off in the bathroom. It's not quite that bad. It pulses. It's got different settings and things like that. It's got different heads. I've just ordered a couple of different heads that it didn't come with to try out as well. But right now, I am loving it. It's easy to use. In some ways, it's easier to use than getting in there with trying to get your hands down your throat to get to your back teeth with string flossing. So I bought that, and right now I am very happy with it. I guess the proof in the pudding will be when I go and see the dental hygienist, and I will be asking her about her opinion about water picks. And I hope she doesn't turn around and say, yeah, they don't do anything. Because I won't be happy. I invested in this, and well, I want to do things, but I think it is. I think it is a good thing. So I've got that. Now the portable unit that came with it is a little bit cumbersome. It's not that portable. I don't know if I'll ever use that. Well, I might. I'll see if I can get it in my suitcase next time I'm away on a trip. I'll take that with me, but I'll throw in my string flossing too as well. Okay, so isn't that exciting? I got a water pick. Wow. I'm sure you wanted to know all about that. I did buy some AccuQuilt dies, and they have arrived, but I'm going to save that for tomorrow's Idiot Quilter because I think it's more appropriate to talk about those on that vlog. Okay, so let's talk about what's happening with the grow lights. Well, not a heck of a lot, although we have some new things seated in there. And let me just find my picture for you. So I flip through buttons. Oh, okay. Here is a jungle shot. That's my lettuce up close and personal. Now you can see this is old growth, okay? And, you can cut from, the outside leaves and that of your lettuce as it's growing, and more of it will grow up in the center. But it does get to a point where it just goes gnarly. Now this is not too bad, so we can eat this that's here. There's a couple of different varieties in here, so don't worry if you see some purpley leaves. That is lettuce that's edible. It's just a variety. But we did plant some new stuff, and the new stuff is right here. As you can see, it's coming up. And over here is, I think this is basil. Walter planted some more basil. It does very well under grow lights as well. And of course, now don't worry about the mold growing on the earth. That happens. And I've had a couple of people make some suggestions about what you can spray on that to, contain it. I think it's harmless, but, you don't want to really see it. Now the peppers. These babies are doing so well, and we keep getting more. Now, these ones that are kind of a pale yellow, they will start to turn orange, and then they'll probably start to turn red or green or whatever if we leave them long enough. Remember this one? This was the purple pepper. It's not purple anymore. It's gone green-ish, and it's got a red spot, and I don't know if that means it's going to go red. So we're going to leave it on there for a while just to see what happens. But we've got quite a few on here, so we've got a good supply. He's got something else. Walter planted, I think, some more basil in another pot down here. Didn't take out the dead one. This was this brown little piece that's right here. That was the basil that I took a clipping from the outside basil and rooted it and put it in the dirt, and it died. So that didn't work so well. I guess you got to do them more from seeds. Or whatever. I don't know. Maybe you can grow them that way. But, seeds are pretty easy because they do come up relatively fast. So, yeah, we're still doing our gardening. We're into our late fall gardening now under the lights. So, yeah, we always have peppers, and that's a good thing. Okay, so that takes me to the 3D corner, and I love these. I saw a YouTube video where a guy made these. He was making little Halloween decorations, and I thought I just had to do them. They're ghost cats. Aren't they fun? I did them in white filament, of course, and these two on the edges, the little guys, they look like they're the same kind of thing, but actually they're not. One is a sort of a standing cat, and the other one's a cat, stretching. It's not very easy in the picture to see that. And actually, in real life, too, there isn't that much that distinguishes them from each other, but they are slightly different. This little one in the center, I blew him up to about 250% of his size, and to make him a little bigger. And the other thing, too, is you can put a little LED light, battery-operated LED light, underneath them. They're hollow, and they'll glow, which is cute. I didn't do it, but the guy that was showing this on a YouTube video, that's what he did, and it looked really cute. So yeah, do I need more little Halloween decorations? I do not, but I couldn't resist making these, and they didn't take long to make, so yeah, they're just fun. And I didn't take a picture, I should have, but if you look at behind the two right here in the center, there's a little piece of plastic hanging out the back. That's its tail. The tail goes out on the table too, which makes it even more cute. So yeah, you can make decorations. Well, you know that with a 3D printer. It's lots of fun. I'm out of things to make on the 3D printer. I've got to take a look around to see what's there. I'll be honest, I don't want to make more trinkety things like these cats. Christmas, I've got a lot of Christmas things I've made over the last few years of having 3D printers, but I might do a search and see if there's anything new and exciting that I haven't seen before. Again, I don't need some more plastic decorations, but have 3D printer will make. I'm trying to think of some other cute sewing related, quilting related things I can do with gnomes on my 3D printer. If you've got any ideas, let me know in the comments below with it. I may not be able to make what you might suggest, but it'll inspire me to maybe do a variation on it or something like that. I need some inspiration for this right now. Okay, so that takes me to Blast from Past Trips, and this is 2018, and we're still in Melbourne, but this is Melbourne Day 5, Part 1. Okay. So this is Melbourne,
day 5. And what are our plans today?
Well, I go to the state library and I go to Victoria Market and then who knows what else.
And are we going to go near that electronics store?
Yeah, I said, well, we'll go there first.
Yeah, okay. Because the reason I want to go to an electronics store is, as you can tell on my videos that I've been posting, the sound is not very good. And the sound on a Apple phone, just when you're doing videos, it picks up all kinds of other noise in around the area. It doesn't seem to pick up your voice very well if you're outside. So I just kind of want to look. I doubt that I'm going to find anything, but I'm looking for a little lapel microphone that runs off of Bluetooth that I could wear and while I'm taking the videos and maybe have better sound. But we will see. So that's today's plan. So off we go. Here's a little art in the city, right on the medium, a major street. What it is, it's really interesting. Just some other parts of the city as we walk towards the state, or the Victoria State Library. That building's kind of interesting. Just kind of good job. Somewhere in the city. I don't think I was recording. And this is the state library. So we're going up to the Dome Galleries.
Yeah, I don't know.
An observation thing, or?
I'm not sure. It's supposed to have one of the biggest reading rooms in the world.
Oh, yeah.
There's something on every level. Like there's Dome Viewing Balcony, Changing Face of Victoria exhibition, World of the Book exhibition.
This is
You gotta read them out.
kind of reminds you of St. Paul's in London. And what would a trip to a library be if you didn't check out, of course, William Shakespeare? And on the 5th level, they have a display about, I guess, the history of books in Australia. Different things. I don't know what this is. Must be, looks like an old barrel or something. What's it say it is?
It's a water cask from the first settlement at Sullivan Cove, 1803.
It's a Guess it's an ink stand or something. Ink stand and ink well, yeah. Okay, blow your nose while
Oh, sorry.
looking at history here. Just blow your nose at that.
Sorry, I forgot you were recording.
Too late.
Yeah.
Can't really get the stereoscopic
No, you
effect.
can't.
But I thought I'd try. So it's a library and an art gallery, all combined into one.
So it takes me to events in the past week. Well, the big event in the past week was Saturday's pop-up sew day. We had a problem. And we discussed the problem on Stephen and Walter Live yesterday. So if you were not at the pop-up sew day or were not aware of the problem, we sort of discussed it. Well, not sort of. We did discuss it on the live. But the short end of the story, shorter version of the story, is basically we had one lady who took it upon herself for no apparent reason, except that she didn't like the fact that somebody was eating some food, and that bothered her. And she told this lady this and several times. Now, the problem was I wasn't there. I had gone away from the computer. Walter and I both were away for a few minutes when this all happened. And so I didn't know it was taking place until one of the people that were in attendance there and had witnessed it sent me an email the next day and told me about it. I did some investigation. What happened was inappropriate. It shouldn't have happened. It upset several people, quite a few actually, and I have dealt with the situation. I talk about that in more detail on the live, if you're interested in knowing. But the bottom line is this: I will not tolerate that kind of inappropriate behavior where somebody hurts somebody else's feelings intentionally, on purpose. This was done on purpose. I just won't put up with that. The person who does this kind of thing, this person's been warned, and I'm watching this person very carefully. If they come on to another pop-up sew day or something like that, I'll be watching them very carefully. They step out of line at all, they're gone permanently. It upsets me as well. It upsets me because if I had seen this, if I had witnessed it, I had been there at the time it happened, I would have nipped it in the bud. My sandbox, my rules, right? What upsets me is that people had to reach out to me to tell me about it, and I also think I'm being blamed for it. And that upsets me. It wasn't my fault. I can't solve a problem if I don't know the problem existed. I have dealt with it. And maybe some people don't feel that I'm doing enough. I don't know what you want me to do. Go to their door and shoot them? Well, that's not happening. It has upset me so much that I have actually contemplated not doing pop-up sew days again. We'll see. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. Yeah, that's a nice note to end off. What's coming up? Oh, yes, what's coming up? Well, here where I live in Ontario, the clocks go back this coming weekend, 1 hour. Fall back, spring ahead. So this is fall. We're falling back 1 hour. So the reason I bring that up is that will change. It won't change the time for Stephen and Walter. We'll still be on at 4 p.m. on Sunday. But, with the time shift, it could throw other people's time zones off. So you may want to check what time it is in your time zone if it's 4 o'clock on Sunday in my time zone. And also this Sunday, and I didn't realize the clocks. I never remember when the clocks are going to go back, right? I knew it was in November sometime. I didn't realize it was the first. I should have, because I think it's always the first weekend in November. Anyways, I have my first men's sewing day happening on Sunday. And so this is open to all gentlemen sewers, quilters, the like. If you are one and you're listening to this and you would like to join in, send me an email and I will send you the details and the Zoom link. It is a Zoom. It's not recorded. It's not a YouTube live. And it's men only. Sorry, ladies, but it's men only. And we will start at 8 a.m. my time, Eastern time, and we'll finish at 3 p.m. because I have to get ready for Stephen and Walter live at 4. So yeah, so that's just for any of you guys out there that might watch this and are sewers or quilters or whatever, and you'd like to get together with other like-minded men, then there's an opportunity for that. Okay, so that's it for me this week. By the way, just a reminder, please subscribe. If you come here on a regular basis, if you enjoy the content that I put out, it would be nice if you subscribed. Okay, and yeah, so Idiot Quilter comes out tomorrow, so Chatty on Friday, and then of course Stephen and Walter live next Sunday. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you later. Bye for now.